So what if I told you that everything you've been taught about achieving presence, the deep breathing, the forced calmness, that whole quest for a quiet mind, is kind of missing the point? Today, we're diving into a really different perspective that says presence isn't something you have to create, but something you just need to align with. This one idea, right here, from Dr. Mark Waller's work, is where we're going to start. It completely flips the script. Instead of seeing a lack of presence as some kind of failure on our part, we're invited to see it as a signal, a vital piece of information that's trying to get our attention. So, what is it trying to tell us? Okay, to really wrap our heads around this new idea, we first have to take apart the old one. Dr. Waller actually mentions that when he first started looking into this, he expected to hear all the same old advice we've all heard a million times. Right? These are the usual suspects. We think presence is this state we have to achieve, a mood we've got to get into, or this feeling of just perfect stillness. But let's be honest, that approach usually just leads to feeling frustrated because it treats any little distraction as an enemy. And this slide really shows the huge shift in thinking. The old way is all about refinement, trying harder, filtering out all the noise. But this new idea suggests we don't need to try harder at all. We just need to get way better at listening to the signals our own system is already sending us. So, if it's not about being perfectly zen all the time, what is this state of alignment we're even talking about? What does it actually feel like when we're in it? It's described as this deep sense of internal harmony. Think about it like an orchestra, where every single instrument is perfectly in tune and playing together. It's not about silence. It's about this beautiful, coherent flow where nothing is fighting anything else. And here's a huge clue for you to know when you're there. When you are truly present, that constant inner voice, the one that's always tracking, judging, and narrating every little thing you do, it just gets quiet. It doesn't mean you disappear, but that nonstop focus on me and managing yourself, it finally takes a break.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? So often, we mistake our thoughts about life for life itself. It's kind of like choosing to listen to someone describe a beautiful sunset instead of just looking at the sunset. Presence is just looking at the sunset.
So what happens when we fall out of that harmonious flow? Well, our bodies and our emotions, they don't just sit there quietly. They start sending out messages, signaling that something is a little bit off, a little out of alignment. Bodywork specialist Christina Black points to these super common physical signals. Just take a look at this list for a second. A tight jaw, hunched shoulders, that clenching in your stomach. Sound familiar at all? These aren't just random aches and pains to ignore. Each one is a specific message that some part of you is holding tension, telling you it got left behind. And the exact same thing goes for our emotions. That sudden wave of irritation that comes out of nowhere, that low hum of anxiety, even just a feeling of being bored. These aren't character flaws. They are super precise indicators that a part of you is out of sync with the whole, and it's asking, pretty loudly, for your attention. So here's the crucial point. These signals are not problems to be solved or suppressed. They're clues. They're a call from a part of you that got disconnected. And it's basically saying, hey, wait up. You can't be whole without me. This brings us to the most important question of all. What do we do when we notice these signals? Our usual instinct is to fix it, right? To make that uncomfortable feeling just go away. But there's a much, much more powerful way. Fixing is basically an act of suppression. It's telling that part of yourself to just shut up because we've got stuff to do. Processing, on the other hand, is an act of compassion. It's turning towards the feeling and gently asking, okay, I hear you. What message do you have for me? Here's a really cool way to think about it. That tension in your neck or that feeling of anxiety is like a telephone ringing. It's persistent because the message is really important, and it is ringing specifically for you. Most of us have been taught to just ignore the ringing, maybe turn the volume down or unplug the phone altogether. The invitation here is to just pause, pick up the phone, and actually listen to what it has to say. Okay, so how do you actually practice this? How do you start answering that call and even get good at hearing it in the first place? Let's walk through a super simple but really profound exercise. This is called moment mindfulness, and it's incredibly simple. You just sit, keep your eyes open, and wait for the next ordinary thought to pop into your head. The moment you notice it, the second you become aware that you are thinking, something kind of magical happens. The thought just vanishes. That little silent pause, that is the entire exercise. And this is so key. The goal is not to achieve a perfectly blank mind. I mean, good luck with that, right? The real goal is to practice metacognition, which is just a fancy word for the simple, powerful act of noticing your own thoughts. Every single time you do it, you strengthen that muscle.
Now, this entire framework and this amazing little exercise, it all comes from the brilliant work of Dr. Mark Waller and Christina Black. Their whole project is called Mastering Thought, and it's all about helping people navigate this exact process. So if this approach is resonating with you at all, I really, really encourage you to go explore their work. You can find tons of amazing stuff on their YouTube channel. It's also called Mastering Thought, or you can connect with other people on this path in their online community, Thought Masters. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've talked about today, what is the one signal, that tight shoulder, that little flicker of irritation that you're now ready to stop ignoring and maybe, finally, answer?